Dude, I should be playing in the Fed. There is no reason I should not be starting games in the Fed. I look personally at all the teams, every single roster, all the goalies. Yeah, there's dinosaurs that have been with 5, 6, 7, 8 teams. And listen, I'm no different. I was on, 6 teams in 2 years, right? And I know I didn't play for every single one of them, but 6 teams own my rights. But I look at some of the goalies out there and I'm like, man, I should be starting for 3/4 of these teams. I could start tomorrow for 3/4 of these teams. All goalies at the same level, at the Fed level, are great goaltenders. Everybody can play. But I found that when I was getting jammed up, you wouldn't give me a start. You give me one opportunity. Okay, I make one little mistake. There's no wiggle room. But then you get other guys who they're giving up 7, 8, 10 goals a game. They just get opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. And I get it. The podcast was a big issue for why, I guess, the powers that be didn't want to have me around as much anymore. But it's frustrating because I should be playing in the Fed. There's no reason why I shouldn't. And especially with my performance as of late in the APHL, where I would say, honest to God, Dave, and you can be the judge yourself watching the video, the defense is probably worse now than when I was playing in Mississippi, which I know is hard to believe. It's significantly worse. I'm getting 2-on-0s, I'm getting breakaways, I'm getting guys wide open backdoor all day, and I'm making every save that I'm seeing. So why I'm not playing in the Fed, I think it's an absolute joke and that I should be playing there.
Not to take away from that comment that you just mentioned, but I'm curious to know why leagues like that don't have more defensive-minded teams or defensive-minded players. Like, I don't understand why it's such an... Is it that much of an offensive league that they just can't find good defensemen? Are all of your defensemen just that offensive-minded? Like, I don't understand why you're giving up 60, 70 shots a game. Like, it just doesn't compute.
Well, all the money's in the scoring, right? Like, if I'm scoring 2, 3, 5 goals a game, I'm getting lots of points. People see that on the broadcast. They see that in the score sheet. Getting called up, you're getting paid, right? Like, we have bonuses for hitting those benchmarks. If you're +3, nobody gives a damn, right? Like, if you're a shutdown defenseman, yeah, it's nice that you get good defense, but nobody cares. Nobody's paying attention. Like, everybody is completely incentivized to bail on the goalie and bail on the defense and go score some goals. It's why you see so many teams that they have scores that are 8-5, 8-3, similar scores what we're having in the APHL as well. But unless you're one of the top 3, top 4 teams, there's zero incentive for defense.
Yeah, I find that fascinating because, I mean, there's a lot of really good defensemen out there. And, I mean, just even if you could have, half your D-men being stay-at-home defensemen, like the only time I'm crossing the blue line is to maybe try and keep the puck in. Other than that, I am going to be floating in and out of that blue line on the on my strong side. Like, I just don't understand why that is not more of a focus. I mean, because if a team went in there with a defensive mind in any one of those aforementioned leagues, they would dominate. Like, you keep your shots to under 30 per game, you're going to dominate.
Well, it also doesn't pay the bills either with the fans, because the fans want to see, as you described, NASCAR and ice. They want to see the fights. They want to see the hits. They want to see big goals, maybe some big saves. And that lack of defense leads to big saves and lots of big goals. If you just had like that shutdown team that's winning 2-1, like LA Kings hockey, that's not exciting for the fans. They want to see action. So,
yeah, no, I totally understand the what it is to put a good product on the ice, but I think when it comes right down to it, people want to see a win. They want to see a W. They don't care if it's 1-0. I mean, look at the Chicago Bears. When Mike Ditka was there, the Bears. When Mike Ditka was there, he said, I would take a shutdown defense any day of the week because as bad as my offense is, I would at least hope they can get me a field goal. And if I can shut out the other team, 3-0 is going to win every single time. And guess what? He won Super Bowls.
Well, clearly he's smarter than most Fed coaches or owners and GMs.
Yeah, and I'm curious to know, like say you find a guy like that at camp, what do? You're like, well, that guy's way too defensive. Get rid of him. I mean, I don't understand the mentality. I mean, the guys, defensive-minded guys are showing up at camp.
Well, if you want to get into it, though, like there's a very specific personality type that is playing in the Fed, right? Like there's guys that they have their own personal demons, their own personal issues, right? Like I've described in the show before, and this isn't a secret, but guys have gambling addictions. They're gambling 24/7. There's guys that are addicted to drugs. There's guys that are addicted to booze. Like everybody has their own things. Like I'm addicted to working. I love working. Like everybody has their own thing and their own vice, and that contributes to those personalities. And if you're whacked out in the weed pen or you're gambling 24/7, you're probably not fully there focusing on, okay, how do I get a really good defenseman? Right? Like let's focus on that. Let's get some systems in play. Yeah, we do penalty kill and PK and whatnot at practice, but it's just it's a flawed system. I know you and I would change a lot of things if we ever owned a team, but it's just the way that it is.
Well, listen, let's talk about what we can do about taking care of our boys in that Sheath underwear. Man, oh man, I'm telling you, if you haven't lined up for Sheath underwear, and if you're in Canada and you're thinking, well, I'm not going to order Sheath underwear this year because, the Canada Post strike, don't worry about it. They use DHL. Just had a shipment come in the other day. My wife's got a whole bunch of new stuff, and she is absolutely loving it. She kind of I shouldn't say rolled her eyes. She liked the way it looked on me. I was like, why don't you try it for yours? She's like, no, it's guys' underwear. I'm like, try a few. Like, try a few of the bralettes. Try a few of the underwear. Try it out. She's like, fine. She swears by now. She's like, I had no idea that this bamboo mesh made as big of a deal as it did. And she's going to give you her own actuality here coming up in an upcoming episode. But yeah, believe me, ladies, men, Sheath underwear, it'll get to your door. And if you use the promo code, 20% off, make sure you get this in the stocking of your loved one or for yourself. Surprise yourself with the gift of Sheath this year. You won't be disappointed, I promise you.
Well, two things. It's the ultimate gift. It's the gift that keeps on giving, whether it's for dad, because what do you get dad for Christmas? Socks, gitch, popcorn. Get him some Sheath underwear for your son, for your brother, boyfriend, girlfriend. Everybody can use a pair of Sheath underwear. And if for some reason you're in some remote town where they only have Canada Post, I get it, they're striking. Well, guess what? I'll personally run it over for you. I'll go down to the Colorado factory, say, Robert, give me the boxes. I'm yabba dabba doing it all the way over. I'm going to hop the border. And I'm going to go down Roxon Road, and I'm going to come into your community. I'm going to deliver the package and say, boom, Merry Christmas. I'm going to bounce out of there.
Yeah.
And also, with Sheath, you literally forget about slaying the dragons. You cut right to the princess. Forget about the Fruit of the Loom, that garbage you buy at Kirkland, at Costco, that rips after like 3 months. It's trash. Sheath compartmentalizes everything. Cool bamboo mesh. A compartmentalized compartment for all of your manly parts, so you're not sticking everything to the side of your leg. Sheath is the way to go. Biscuit69 is the code. 20% off. Click that link in the description. And happy holidays from the team at Sheath.
Yeah, make sure you get your Sheath underwear, and it holds up. It holds up. I love it. I refuse to wear anything else.
It's absolutely the gift that keeps on giving. You know what? Actually, you just reminded me. There was a trade. Well, there's a team that I played for in the Fed. We ended up trading for a guy. And usually when we trade for a guy, usually it's finalized, but an hour, 2 hours later, boom, we throw him in the team group chat. Hey, fella, welcome to the team. We're going to travel down to so-and-so. Meet us here. Here's the itinerary for breakfast, lunch, whatever. And so there's one guy we trade for him, throw him in the group chat, and within 2 minutes of adding him, he throws a message in the group chat. Fellas, look what I caught. And it's just some picture of this like OnlyFans chick that I guess was in the area that sent him some nice pictures. And he throws in the group chat and all the guys are like, oh, no way. I can't believe we got that kind of talent locally. One of the guys pipes up in the back is like, hey, that's someone's daughter. Don't do that. And then a couple of guys, all of them stopped. They're like typing bubbles. Yeah, so that was an interesting day for the group chat.
Well, he's got a point. He absolutely has a point.
We've talked about the hotel story, right? With in Motor City.
Which one?
Well, we had, and if you're new to the show, this will be a new story. If you're an OG viewer, apologies if you've already heard this one. But when I was in Motor City, we'd be traveling on the road. Lots of hotel rooms. We always stay at the Comfort Inn or the Holiday Inn, and a lot of the times, guys would bring some local talent back to the hotel room. And then after a while, the GM comes in one day before Morning City. He's like, fellas, we're getting a lot of complaints from the staff at the hotel. We can't be bringing ladies into the hotel room at 2, 3 in the morning. Not a problem. What do you think the guys started doing? Instead, they would go out to the parking lot, and if the trailer's rocking, don't come knocking, they take the talent outside. So if you went outside to take a call at like 1, 2, 3 in the morning, there's like a bunch of Toyota Camrys.
Thanks for the Camry. Dirty Mike and the boys.
Putting some D's and some A's.
Hey, man, sometimes you got to get the job done, right?
Hey, man, NBA players get paid millions of dollars to hit threes. The Motor City Rockers said, hey, we'll do it for free.
Yeah, Corolla is hockey for the seats recline.
All the way back. Say, sometimes you just need a better seat.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, that's the reason why they call it a flatbed. Hey, more hockey content. It might be old, it might be new, it might be a full episode, it might be a half episode, but you can click these boxes because who doesn't like clicking boxes?